Kim Zolciak sounds off on Ariana Biermann's NYC apartment. On Next Gen NYC, even Ariana Biermann couldn't believe that mom Kim Zolciak was about to visit the new Manhattan apartment she and boyfriend Hudson McLeroy just moved into. Knowing that the Real Housewives of Atlanta matriarch would have thoughts on her home, Ariana quickly got to work, doing everything from baking to making sure the wall art was properly hung. All the prep work paid off. When Kim arrived in NYC for her Season 1, Episode 6 cameo, she was impressed by almost everything, except, of course, for Ariana referring to her as the grandma of her two dogs, Norma Jean and Blue. "This is adorable," Kim remarked while touring her daughter's $10,000 per month Soho abode, asking, "How did you furnish this so fast?" When Ariana showed her that the amazing room that she'd supposedly be sleeping in, however, Kim was quick to observe, "There's no bed." Even after the 23-year-old aspiring fashion designer said that an oversized beanbag chair was all she had to offer at this point, the Varijaway alum insisted she was oak with the accommodations but cautioned, "Let's see what happens with this body of mine after sleeping there." "Oh wow, so kind of you," Ariana replied, before admitting, "I'm just messing with you. I will get you a hotel room because it's a lot." Ariana Biermann opens up about mom Kim Zolciak's finances. "A hotel room isn't all Ariana had been paying for though," emphasizing in a confessional that Kim is and forever will be my best friend. Ariana conceded that her family has been going through it as of late. "I was 21 when my parents first decided they were gonna get a divorce," she shared, referencing Kim's insane split from Riley Burress. "My dad told me and my sister, Riley Burress, 'You have no money.' I was doing all these brand deals. I thought I was coming up in my life, but in reality, I guess I wasn't." So when Kim brought up that she was praying to secure a buyer for her Atlanta home, and was about to drop the asking price to $4 million, despite claiming it was appraised at $5.5 million. To be done with it, Ariana told her to just get out of the damn house. Eventually, Kim and Kroy reportedly sold their Georgia mansion for $2.75 million in January 2025. "My mom is trying to keep up with the bills that are coming from this house that they're trying to sell," Ariana explained in a confessional. "Sometimes she asks me for help, but my mom asking me for this puts me in such a tough spot." The issue also turned out to be a point of contention between her and an upset Hudson, who reasoned that Kim is plenty of capable of making her own money, and worried that Ariana would get stuck paying the house bills in the long run. More details on Kim Zolciak's Next Gen NYC cameo. While Kim snacked on crackers with cheese, straight from an aerosol can, and sipped wine, Ariana filled her in on plans for a reunion with NYC BFF Riley Burress, aka the daughter of Kim's ex-best friend, Kandi Burress, over dinner in Little Italy. She also revealed that she recently met Kandi and her family for a rooftop brunch in Brooklyn. "If you think you're bringing Kandi to dinner, you've got another thing coming," Kim fired back, referencing their long-standing beef related to tardy for the party royalties. After referencing the iconic RHOA moment in which she misspelled cat as Kiabti, Kim happily reunited with beautiful Riley for the first time in 12 years, and even shared some Maya Angelou-inspired motherly wisdom with the Next Gen NYC besties. "What I'm gonna tell both of you guys is this. Believe people for who they are when they show you the first time," Kim told Riley and Ariana. "That's our downfall, including myself." The Manhattan air, usually a symphony of honking cabs and distant sirens, felt strangely muted to Ariana Biermann. Inside her newly acquired $10,000 per month Soho apartment, a different kind of tension hummed. Her mother, Kim Zolciak, was coming. The very thought sent a tremor through Ariana, a mix of eager anticipation and a familiar, almost comical dread. Kim, the matriarch of their unconventional clan, the woman who had navigated the tumultuous waters of reality television, with a wig askew and a glass of wine in hand, was about to descend upon her carefully curated and hastily furnished New York sanctuary. Ariana, at 23, an aspiring fashion designer with a burgeoning sense of independence, had been a whirlwind of activity for days. The aroma of freshly baked cookies, a desperate attempt to create a domestic haven, still lingered faintly in the air, battling against the faint scent of new paint and nervous energy. Every piece of wall art, meticulously placed by Hudson McElroy, her boyfriend, had been rechecked, re-leveled, and then rechecked again. She knew her mother. Kim had an eagle eye for detail and a tongue sharper than any fashion critic. "She's going to have thoughts," Ariana had muttered to Hudson earlier that morning, as he patiently held up a framed print of a minimalist's cityscape. Hudson, bless his pragmatic heart, had simply chuckled, a low rumble that did little to soothe her jitters. He knew Kim too, albeit from a safer distance. The moment of truth arrived with a flourish. The elevator doors chimed, and then, a vision in designer athleisure and a perfectly coiffed blonde wig, Kim Zolciak stepped into the hallway, a small designer carry-on trailing behind her. Her eyes, framed by dramatic lashes, swept over the pristine white walls, the exposed brick, the carefully arranged, if sparse, furniture. "Ariana, my baby," Kim exclaimed, her voice a familiar blend of Southern warmth and reality TV inflection. She enveloped her daughter in a hug that smelled faintly of expensive perfume and hairspray. "Oh my goodness, look at you, and this place," she paused, her gaze taking in the open-plan living area. "This is adorable. How did you furnish this so fast?" Ariana exhaled, a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "It's been a lot, Mom. Hudson helped a ton." She gestured vaguely around the room, a blush rising on her cheeks, and a lot of online shopping. Kim nodded, already moving, her heels clicking softly on the polished concrete floor. She peered into the compact kitchen, then the small chic bathroom. "It's very New York," she declared, a hint of approval in her tone. Then her eyes landed on Norma Jean, Ariana's beloved French bulldog, who had waddled out from behind the couch, tail wagging cautiously. "And look at my granddog. Hello, Norma Jean." Ariana winced. "Mom, please don't call yourself their grandma. It makes me feel old." Kim merely waved a dismissive hand. "Honey, I'm a grandma. It's a fact of life. Now, where am I sleeping? You said you had an amazing room for me." Ariana led her to a small, sunlit nook off the living area. In the center sat an enormous plush beanbag chair, a monument to casual comfort. "This is it," Ariana announced, trying to sound enthusiastic. "It's super comfy, I promise. It's all I have to offer at this point." Kim's perfectly sculpted eyebrows arched. She walked around the beanbag, poking it with a manicured finger. "There's no bed," she stated, not as a question, but as an undeniable fact. "Ariana, honey, I'm okay with the accommodations, but let's see what happens with this body of mine after sleeping there." A theatrical sigh escaped her lips. "Oh wow, so kind of you," Ariana replied, a wry smile playing on her lips. "I'm just messing with you. I will get you a hotel room because it's a lot." She knew her mother. The beanbag was a bridge too far. Later that evening, after Kim had settled into a luxurious hotel suite downtown, Ariana found herself nursing a glass of sparkling water, the quiet hum of her apartment a stark contrast to the whirlwind of her mother's visit. She'd managed to deflect the beanbag crisis, but the deeper anxieties, the ones that had been gnawing at her for months, were harder to escape. In a quiet moment, away from the cameras that had followed her mother for years, Ariana had confessed to the crew, her voice tinged with a weariness beyond her years. "My mom is and forever will be my best friend. But my family has been going through it, as of late." The "it" was a gaping chasm of financial woes, a public, messy divorce, and the crushing weight of expectation. "I was 21 when my parents first decided they were gonna get a divorce," she had shared, the memory still raw. My dad told me and my sister, "You have no money." I was doing all these brand deals. I thought I was coming up in my life, but in reality, I guess I wasn't. The conversation with Kim earlier that day had circled back to the sprawling Atlanta mansion, a symbol of their past opulence and current burden. Kim, munching on crackers topped with aerosol cheese, had lamented, "I'm praying to secure a buyer for the house. I'm about to drop the asking price to $4 million. It was appraised at $5.5 million, but I just want to be done." Ariana, her heart aching with a mixture of sympathy and frustration, had looked her mother squarely in the eye. "Mom, just get out of the damn house." It was a plea, an exasperated cry for her mother to shed the weight that was dragging them all down. "My mom is trying to keep up with the bills that are coming from this house that they're trying to sell," Ariana had explained in her confessional, the burden palpable in her voice. "Sometimes she asks me for help, but my mom asking me for this puts me in such a tough spot." Hudson, ever the voice of reason, had been upset when she confided in him. "Your mom is plenty capable of making her own money, Ari," he'd reasoned, his brow furrowed with concern. "I just don't want you to get stuck paying the house bills in the long run."